No, don't start anything first thing in the morning. Come on. Come on, yours is over here and your normal. Tux, come on, Tux. Tux, this way. Come on, bud. Come on. Good boy. Oh, I can smell my gardenia. Well, the weather last night said that we got almost 1.5 inches. It's definitely rained. We definitely don't need to water anything today. Boys, come here. Come on, it's safe. It's safe to come out now. Hi, Morris. Hi, Bud. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Mark. It's early. It's just going on 7 o'clock. Don's up and at him in his office already. Poor guy. Well, I show 3/4 of an inch. So wherever it was in Fuquay that they got that much extra. But 3/4 is great. Yep, everything looks nicely watered this morning. I'm very pleased. Everything being green is preserved for another week.
I had coffee this morning, so I'm even though it's early.
Be kind on me. I gave blood yesterday.
Yes, right.
We're just out for a little stroll. Yeah, you do. Don said when they inserted the needle yesterday, it hurt him more than normal.
Right. Yeah, she stuck it in there and turned it around a little bit.
No, she did not. Let's see. Donnie, let's see.
Oh, wow.
I don't even have a bruise, so you got the bruise this time. Normally I have a bruise. Pretty good bruise for like a week or better. Well, we can definitely hear the creek over here this morning moving after the nice rain last night. We're super early on our walk, so even if the sun were going to be out, it's not got out and going good yet. I think it's gonna, one of those mornings where it's going to clear up. But it started out a little overcast, and I enjoy listening to the water running down there.
I don't hear
this is the 3rd big bunny we've seen this morning. The splash pad is actually running. They must be up there doing some testing, and there's the sun. Here comes the sun. You know,
I don't hear the drain.
I saw the bucket dump, and I can see
I don't hear the drain.
Right, it's not recycling today. There's no water leaving the splash pad today like there was the other day.
Right.
Now, they've shut it back off until it opens today. I think it's ready for the kids. It's stickier out here than you would think, although at least up here by the track there's a breeze down on the trail coming up. With the trees blocking it, it didn't feel very refreshing. Tell Dawn this is my stay on track to be alert when I drive down to the beach today and get in my walk, since I'm probably going to eat a couple things today that aren't what I would normally eat.
So yesterday was another energy event, and again it turned the thermostat down to 74, which is normally 76. For my hypothesis is they want to, quote, cool the house down, so that when they turn off the thermostat during that in other words, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, sometime prior to 3, they said, well, we're going to cool the house down before the really bad time hits. It's ahead of the bad time. So we're going to cool the house down, and then we're going to turn your air conditioner off for the bad time. Well, the problem is 2 o'clock in the afternoon is peak for us. So when that thing, they cranked it down from 76 to 74, it ran. My air conditioner runs that entire time trying to cool the house down to 74. Well, the thing is, as soon as, even though it's at 7, first of all, I got cold, which is why I know this.
Because Dawn sits right in front of a vent.
I sit right by in front of the vent, so I noticed. And the second thing is,
you can turn off. I'll film you from the side.
It goes when they turn. They eventually bump the thermostat up to 79, which Marianne let me know how that 79 was not the answer yesterday.
Well, I was in the kitchen moving around, essentially cleaning house movement. I was working on my Lego sorting stuff.
That's right.
I wasn't just sitting there watching TV.
Right, and I checked the thermostat at one point and it was 77 in the house. So the 74 thing, cooling it down may have caused for the first 15 minutes or something. I don't know how long it took to go from 74 to 77. Maybe it took an hour. But that second part of that, she was hot. Once it got to 77, I noticed it. That it was getting warm.
Yeah, I told him I think I was having a hot flash on top of the house being hot, and it wasn't a good combination.
Yeah. So I really think that their algorithm's a little isn't really particularly good, because what if you were somebody who was still at work and you bump your thermostat up to 80 every day, and when you leave home you say, hot dog, this is a free 25 bucks because I'm not even going to be home during these quote energy events. And so all of a sudden now your electric bill goes up because it's now cooling your house from 80 down to 74 during peak window so that it can turn it off and put it back to 79 when it was at 80 to start. So I'm really thinking they need to simply have a little bit more intelligence, say, hey, if the thermostat's 76 or 74 or greater, leave it alone, because what they're trying to do with that 74 possibly is to get to people who've got it set to 70.
Right, I think it's designed for the people, or 72.
72.
Yeah.
That raises it up a little bit, but in actuality, people like us who run it at 76, and trust me, 76 is fine for me piled up watching YouTube. I don't, I'm perfectly comfortable.
And Don tells me if I'm cleaning house or,
yeah, bump it down.
well, first off, we have a fan in the kitchen and a fan in the family room, so start with the fan.
Yeah.
And if the fan's not good enough, then bump it down 1 degree. Don't be miserable, but normally I don't notice 76 either.
Yeah. And so anyway, I think they still, they need to get a real programmer. Of course, I guess you could ask, well, they're working with a lot of different thermostats, but they still should be able to query. My thermostat shows on my phone the actual temperature. So they should be able, if they can set the temperatures, they should be able to query what the temperature is set to.
Right.
And so
decide if they need to move that one around or not.
That's right.
Just because they can doesn't mean they have to.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, in this whole scenario, for starters, it might not be saving them much electricity on our thermostat. And then worse is it probably actually raises our electric bill, and that $25 they give us is ate up in them,
right.
We're uncomfortable for nothing. Well, technically, Donnie, now we've qualified for this year's $25. Right. So you could cancel the next energy savings event with good conscience, since we think it might not be helping them that much anyway.
Right. Well, there is, it will let me override it.
Yep, it will.
I can go bump the thermostat.
Yep.
And when they cool it down to 74, if I catch that, I will always go bump that.
Yep.
And then if we get hot and it gets to be 80 degrees in the house, or 70, whatever, I probably would bump it down.
Yeah.
But I certainly am going to try to nip that 74.
Yep. You be a good boy, Marty. Your food bowl's full. Mom will be home in time to feed you dinner. I'm going to get over to Michelle's house at 9:50 a.m. It's a couple-hour drive to the Oceanic, where we're going to have lunch at the beach, and we've got pawn shops and thrift shops lined up. I printed out some names and addresses, make it easier, and try to head back not later than 5, depending on how tired I am and what the weather does down there. And there could be some rain, hopefully none of it severe. Ruby's not super clean, so it'll be okay. I'm not using autopilot to get to Michelle's house. I was fooling with the navigation a little bit, admittedly. So I have in her address, and then I put in the address of the Oceanic. That's the name of the restaurant we're going to, which is right on the ocean in Wrightsville Beach, Wilmington. And then I added home in. And with just the first 2 addresses, Michelle's and the Oceanic, it was not telling me I needed to charge, and it said I would get there with 20%. And that'd be all fine and dandy, except for I'm coming home. And and I've already done the math in my head. I'm just, you know, seeing what the car says. So when I put in home, it added a stop in Warsaw on the way down. That's the new Warsaw supercharger, the one that's in the Smithfield's parking lot, not the one that used to be in the hotel parking lot. That was like one of the very first chargers in North Carolina. And then coming out, it says charge for 5 minutes. And then it said to charge at the Wilmington supercharger on the way back out of town for 35 minutes. So I'm very pleased, extremely pleased, awesomely pleased that, you know, it added in some stops that would keep me safe on basically a long distance round trip from my home. I think it did a great job. Now, what I'm going to do instead is stop in Warsaw and supercharge. I'm sure I'll want to use the restroom and stretch my legs. That's about the halfway point to the beach. It's about a 2-hour drive, 120, maybe 130 miles by the time we get to the Oceanic. It'll tell me here in a bit what that distance is. And I'm gonna charge for a little longer than 5 minutes. I'm probably gonna charge for 15 or 20 minutes by the time I use the restroom, get back to the car, make a video, blah, blah, blah. My hope would be that coming out of town, I could make it back to Warsaw, because the, you know, time that I really want to charge is halfway home, coming and going, so I can use the facility, stretch my legs, that kind of thing. I think that's going to be doable. I could probably try to fool around with the settings a little bit and convince myself that it's doable. But I'm pretty sure that's going to work. And, you know, if Michelle and I drive around town for 50 miles and I need to hit the Wilmington supercharger before I leave Wilmington, that won't be a big deal either. I see at least one black panther this morning. I bet there's more little eyes looking at me. Remember, that's the lady in this neighborhood that likes cats, takes care of the cats in this neighborhood. Michelle's got Spectre over here with her. Is that Spectre?
Yeah.
Oh, what a cutie patootie. Oh, who's the ginger behind you?
Oh, that's Chubbs. He's the neighbor.
Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Oh, I've been ready all week.
I hear you. You know what Don said when he gave me a big kiss goodbye? He said he was sorry he was working today and that he couldn't drive us down there and just nap and listen to podcasts while we shopped and just hang out with, you know, be our chauffeur for the afternoon. He said maybe next time.
Aww,
and he was sincere. I was like, how sweet could that possibly be? Very. Michelle's one neighbor has all of these beautiful daylilies out at the street, and there's other perennials and juniper and stuff. There's several nice houses, you know, with nice landscaping, but I like that one with the daylilies the best. Every summer it just looks gorgeous. So I thought the construction went 312 north into Raleigh, but there's actually some construction south of 312 now. Hopefully this doesn't go on very long. They've reduced the speed, and you know how I don't like cement barricades. Well, thankfully it only went for a couple of miles, but still, I had no idea stuff was going on south of Highway 42 and I-40 intersection. Well, we've got a little bit of drizzle, no big deal. Ruby did say poor weather detected, navigate on autopilot unavailable, on and off a few times. She has not, I guess I could put the windshield wipers on auto. They were actually off. I don't know, maybe she did that because she couldn't turn on the windshield wipers. It certainly didn't seem like it was raining enough that she should care about the rain. We're almost to Warsaw, and the exit's in 3.4 miles. Dawn called. Apparently the go live for this weekend is canceled. And they're looking at that he wanted to check with me about weekend dates in July, and other than the date that Johnny's going to be in Greece, which also doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't really matter what weekend in July. It probably won't be the 4th of July weekend though. So coming and going from the beach, I have been here many a time. this building's obviously been redone from the old building, but I have actually never plugged in at this supercharger because the other one was always available. Either we stopped at Wallace or it was before the other Warsaw one. Even though it was off the map, it was before it was shut down. So I don't know what time they opened though. It's 10:50. Hopefully I guess the drive-thru's open. Hopefully the dining room's open.
Yeah.
All right, so hopefully I won't have any trouble plugging in today. My parking, again, could leave a little bit to be desired. She opened up for me, no problem. Oh, don't do this to me today, please.
Of course, it's gotta give you some problem.
No, not open. This happened the other day. Right, that's really at the bump stop. Oh, thank goodness. So if there's any kind of pull on the cable at all, it's going orange. It's like it can't handle it at all. But Michelle helped me back up. So there's really not pull. Makes me a smidge nervous today, but I figure worst comes to worst, I pull in sideways and get even closer. This other Model X pulled up right after we did. She's hot. I just said that because she's running the, fans big time. Well, those are some long parking spaces. There's like no way we would be that far away from the charger. So Michelle was teasing me. I put on my seatbelt, but I have to get back out to unplug. Oops. Yeah, she's telling us we've got enough charge to continue our trip. But I wanted to get a little bit extra because she doesn't know about all of the places we plan to stop in town. And I really want to stop here and not in Wilmington on the way out. So, we're going to wait a few more. She says 12 minutes to charge limit. That would be 80%. So I'm probably going to wait till we get back up to 80% and then unplug. So Michelle is all mermaided out today. Ariel mermaid necklace. There's probably a ring is all beach. She's got a mermaid shirt. Yeah, she's all beach ready today.
This is Ursula, Enchanted Disney earring.
Oh, okay.
I do have hoops, mermaid hoops, but I put in the whales. I don't know why.
So what do you do while you wait 10 more minutes for the car to charge? You do your important Pokemon trade of the day. Oh, and it went lucky. Ooh! It's, what did you say it was? It was,
it's a jellyfish. That's a ghost.
Right.
My two favorite things.
Nihilego. Nilego? I don't know how to pronounce it.
No.
I never heard anybody pronounce it.
But that is cool.
Way cool. All right, it's time to go. I didn't start recording in time for you to see the sign, but it said, controlled burn ahead, expect dense smoke. Really? Guess it's a good thing we got a HEPA filter. And no, Ruby, we can't change lanes right now to a faster lane because that left lane is closed. Well, we may be near a controlled burn, but this all seems to be an asphalt paving operation here that has us over. I guess all said and done, it's not going to cost us more than 10 minutes, maybe only 5. Ruby was trying to do the right thing here with these construction, I'm going to call it a cone, I guess that's still the right word, but the lane's too small with them, and I just took over and am steering her down. I'm not saying she was going to hit them, but I wasn't willing to risk it, so I just took over to get past this construction area. For you in a minute. Wow. Well, at least right now it's steamrolling and not, well, there's the actual asphalt layer. I'm not hearing anything pinging up underneath the car though, so that's good. All right, we're here. Yay. We're going over the bridge. You know, the last time I was here, I'm sure it was with you. And I'm sure we ate at the Oceanic, and I'm also sure it was before COVID. So it's been that long. Yeah, Michelle's looking at the boats.
God, they're beautiful. They're mansions on the water.
So we're within a half mile now. Okay, it dropped from 35 to 25. There was a sign, strict speed and noise enforcement. Here comes the Model S. I just saw the Model 3 a minute ago.
Yep, but it's a ritzy neighborhood.
We're here! This is the best we're gonna do. It is what it is. Well, we weren't expecting to eat outside, but we're outside. They said upstairs is closed because when it's nice like this, people want to eat. Yeah, they said when it's nice outside, people don't want to eat upstairs. So this is the first time I've ever eaten outside here. So what kind of shrimp taco was it?
Oh, it's the lemon,
Jamaica?
yeah, Jamaican lemon.
Something
tacos.
like that. And I just got a shrimp platter. Wow, 7 Century reports. Yeah, the cars around me are swapped, but Ruby's fine. Well, you guessed it, after sitting in the sun, I have the autopilot cameras not available message. I would have bet money I was gonna get it. Michelle has plugged in the first national pond we wanna hit. There's 3 of them in town. And there's also some really good thrift stores we wanna check out. Coastal waterway crossing back to the mainland, and the drawbridge is open. Just our timing. We want to go shopping. You're holding us up. How excited are you?
Very excited.
It's a horrible parking lot, but we found out by missing our turn that we could go back behind the building. We were headed to the 3rd National Pond location and we saw a Target. And I need to look for Hot Wheels, and Michelle wants to look for exclusive Pops. And what else besides Pops?
Godzilla stuff.
Yeah, okay. Well, first off, there's no Hot Wheels. And second off, there are 75 people in line at the front of the store. I'm not going to turn into a pumpkin or anything, but it's 5 o'clock. And by the time we do the drive and we charge and I get home, I'll be lucky if it's not 8. So, but I got these 2 Valentine's Day birds. They came from Target. And then a summertime, I'm gonna put a LED light in it. It matches the village pieces I have in the fireplace right now. We stopped in here at the Wilmington Goodwill. So if we leave now, and it really is 5 p.m., she's telling us to stop at Wallace. We'll get there at 17%, charge for 25 minutes, and then we can head home. And that's probably fine, although Wallace isn't quite as handy as Warsaw, but Warsaw is another like 10 or 12 miles down the road, something like that. So I would not ignore the car. All right, we swung through Starbucks. Michelle had like a double chocolate cream cold brew, and I had the vanilla cream light cold brew. And Ruby says we're gonna get the Wallace with 15%. She wants us to charge for 30 minutes, and that's her final calculation here as we go out of town. I'm good with that. Like I said, if she says I can do that, then that's what I'm gonna assume I can do. I do not have autopilot. I knew I wasn't gonna have it on the way home after the cameras got heated up in the sun. That's been every day par for the course for several days now, so bummer. If she decides to give it back to me though after we supercharge, I won't complain. Because I sure could use autopilot on the way home here on the interstate where it works so fantastic. Bummer. Well, there's a Mach-E. And it said 7 Tesla stalls available. Obviously there's 8 here. There's no bump stop at this one. All right, I parked. Michelle got out and helped me to get really close. And I'm also close to the line on this side because there's plenty of spaces here. We're good. I admit to being slightly concerned just because it's gone orange so many times this week, but we're good. Yay! Perfect. We got here with 37 miles, and before, whoops, I'm trying, Michelle. Before we get too far along, I'm just curious. I'm gonna cancel home, come over here, and choose Warsaw. And I know it's put in a couple of miles, but I'm just curious. Yeah, it says we would have got there with 4%, so that's why it didn't send us there. That would be cutting it closer than two girls out having a fun shopping day need to when we don't have to.
Exactly.
Yep. This is 150 though, and that's 250, so it would have been nice if we could have made it to Warsaw, but no big deal. So let me go ahead and put back in home and see how long it says. It was saying 30 minutes here last time it had calculated it. And it says 20 minutes. But, and that's, yeah, so I'm sure it's somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes. We're currently getting 114 kilowatts, which is, and I did turn the air off. That's actually not a lot considering the state of charge, I wouldn't have thought, but I'll take it. It's not puny, it's just not awesome. Well, we were so impressed with the inside of the mad board that we did decide to sit down, and we've got a crab dip and a salad, so nothing too heavy since we ate so much earlier. So we recommend that place, right? Big time. It's gorgeous inside. If you don't have time or the appetite for a meal, they've got plenty of appetizers for just something small. It's nice sitting in there. Very comfortable and cool. Ruby has way more charge than she needs how, but this is, you know, this is how we like to travel. This is the kindler, gentler traveling. Oh, thank goodness. I have autopilot back, yes, because it's 86 miles to the house, not counting stopping in at Michelle's, which I go past anyway. So yeah, autopilot on the way home for the next hour. That would be really good. So we're making plenty good time. There's not a lot of cars out here with us tonight. I've got autopilot, so I'm a happy camper. I'm not having to do too much. I told Michelle she'll be ruined for life if she gets in a car that'll automatically switch lanes for her, because once you have that feature, you never want to give it up. And we've had an awesome day, talking about doing it again really soon, and listening to some 80s music, some old school music, some from our high school years music. Well, first off, it's a real mess. Now I got to be in the right lane now to go straight instead of the left lane. You could, or I got to be in the left lane to go straight.
Stay in this lane.
The one I'm in?
Yes.
Okay. It changed. It used to be you had to get one way years and years and years ago, and now you got to get the other way. I don't know who came up with that brilliant change, but those of us that were used to go through the intersection in the 90s, it's different now. But anyway, it's a total disaster up here at I-40 and Highway 42, exit 312.
And now you can get over if you can.
Oh, I do want to get over.
Yes.
Right, well I knew that's what I was asking you. I meant for like the through. We're now in the through lane. So Michelle and I were coming up on 312. There was this sort of annoying truck that had gotten on the interstate with us about 5 miles back. And he was in the left lane, and he pretty quick got into the right lane, which was unexpected in front of me because he'd been out in the left lane for like the whole 5 miles. And then the next thing I know, he put on his turn signal and he come to almost a complete stop in a 70-mile-an-hour zone so he could go into the construction area over on the side of the road. And the guy behind, you know, Ruby saw him braking, saw the turn signal, saw, you know, him slowing up, and she slowed up for him so we didn't hit him. We didn't even come close. And the guy behind me was paying attention, but the guy behind him almost hit the guy behind me. And it was just like, you know, you got to signal way in advance if you're going to come to a stop in a 70-mile-an-hour zone. That's all I'm saying. That was kind of scary. Ruby did everything good, but just because she does everything good doesn't mean all the other cars on the road are going to do what they're supposed to do. Hey, Donnie.
Hey, my girl's home.
I am. Did you miss me?
I sure did.
Except he was napping when I come down the driveway. Alert woke him up.
That's all right.
But he came out to greet me. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So did we get a new go live date yet?
No date
Okay.
yet.
Well, since it's in July, we don't really need to know yet.
That's right. It's probably going to be not the first weekend, but yeah.
So you went to the landfill and you got eggs.
Went to the landfill and got eggs.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
I missed a ride in the van.
Oh yeah.
Exciting date trip to the landfill.
Very fragrant.